You are listening to the Savage FINcast, episode 105. Kiss the Beak, Smooch the Haystack.
Chicago. A criminal mastermind called Overlord held our city in his terrifying grip. Ordinary cops were losing the battle against Overlord's super freaks and mutants. Then, a miracle happened. When I found him, he had no memory of his past. I helped him find an identity and a life. Now we have a fighting chance. Now we have the dragon.
This is the Savage FINcast, the show that gets absolutely pissed because you cannot find anything on Facebook. My name is Jim Purcell.
I am Craig Olson.
I'm Raven Perez.
And it's good to have you back for another episode of the Savage FINcast, the internet's only Savage Dragon and Eric Larson dedicated podcast. It hasn't been that long since our last episode, honestly. We've actually managed to get a few out in a row, so it's actually business as usual. Which,
I don't want to hear any shit about us being all lackadaisical. We've been knocking these bastards out of the park.
Even got a retro in, too.
Well, we got 2 retros in.
Guys, after
That's
10
right.
years, I would say that we're a well-oiled machine.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
What
10
kind of
years,
machine
man.
would you describe us as?
One grinding and burning and bursting and many words.
Grinding and burning.
I've never had such an insulting machine comparison in my life.
When I take the cover off, dust pours
Sounds
out.
like a Saturday night.
So let's get right into whatever the hell we do here. And got some news.
You know what? I think it is important to tell new listeners what we do here. This is Savage FINcast. We've been doing this bad boy for 10 years. We're the greatest,
10 years.
Okay? 10 years. Do you hear me?
We need
We're
to
number
hype that.
one.
10
I mean,
years.
they're impressed by that, but I just go with it.
This is the year of Savage Dragon FINcast. That's my Todd McFarlane, baby.
Yeah.
I got it.
That'll be more relevant in a minute.
I've actually been hearing him talk more recently because he does his videos about his action figure stuff, and since I care now about action figures, I now get to hear him talk about his action figures.
Does he call his podcast Todd Servations?
I doubt it. I don't know. I haven't listened that closely. I've mostly just been listening to clips.
You know what? Normally we do kick it off with the news, but I'm feeling fun and fancy free. I'm going to have some apologies.
Apologies.
Yeah, I'm going to start off with.
Well, I don't apologize. That's just the way it is.
I am,
But I can harmonize,
well,
even though it sounds like shit.
if I may, I would like to apologize for dropping the ball on Savage Dragon Retro FINcast, issue number 8, because Eric Larson made a actually not a Paul Dragon, he made a Finn boner joke all the way back in Savage Dragon number 8. And I made such a hilarious bit about it before the recording, and then we did the recording and I didn't say shit about it. So I would like to atone for my sins by highlighting that. If you have your Savage Dragon number 8, crack it open and flip to the letters section, and you will see the legendary Savage Dragon Finn boner joke in print, preserved for all time. There was like a cryo capsule gift waiting to be discovered by us. So that was my apology. And there has actually something else. There was something else we fucked up on, but as I'm doing
We didn't
this,
fuck up on anything. Come on.
Yeah, only happy accidents here.
Yeah, man. I like this. All right, positive energy going right into news item number 1.
Yeah, it's more ambivalence, to be honest.
Ambivalence?
Is that the word?
Wouldn't you say ambivalence? I'm just
What?
kidding. I don't know how it's pronounced.
I don't know. I learned to speak right by reading, so you might be right about that.
I literally
By
don't
reading
know.
comic books.
Yeah, I literally don't know.
no,
So you're...
reading actual books. I actually didn't read comics until I was much older.
Fracka
Crack-a-zap.
I didn't know how to spell pronounce Majorner until I was much older.
Isn't it Mjolnir?
Yes.
All right, just checking. All right, so news item number 1. North Force Zero. Eric revealed that with the upcoming issue of Savage Dragon featuring North Force on the cover, we're actually going to be getting a pretty sweet little one-shot, little side print dealie. It's going to be North Force number 0 is how it's going to be billed, with the North Force logo designed by Fran Delgado. Canada's premier super team. And just a little heads up for those who don't realize what's going on with this. You're not getting a whole new issue. Don't get scared. North Force isn't an ongoing title. It's a promo gimmick. North Force is going to be Savage Dragon 259, but instead of backups and letters, there's going to be bio pages of the team. And some story content will be different. That's the most tantalizing bit of this whole thing. So, gotta wonder what the little. It's not going to be just your average sort of reprint of Savage Funnies, where you got a purple cover and there's not a newsprint effect. There's going to be a little something extra to this North Force Zero. So, I'm going to ask you, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was crying on my Facebook. And they were like, Eric's been making me double dip a lot lately. So how you feeling about this North Force thing? Zero. North Force Zero specifically.
So I'll tell you, Raven, I feel 0.
You feel nothing?
Yeah, not really. I mean, maybe, probably.
I'm getting it. I want it. I'm hyped. I gotta support North Force. What about you, Craig?
So what do you think? If we all buy enough North Force, we'll get North Force number 1?
Yes.
That's the plan?
That's the plan.
That's the end goal?
Let's all move, yeah. Let's be a united North Force support force.
It might be cool, if someone has no idea that it's a tie-in with Dragon, I guess he's on the front, but if they're going to buy it just for the novelty of it, maybe it will make a fan out of somebody that normally doesn't collect Dragon.
It does seem like it is a kind of like the Mighty Man issue, or the it's another good example. Well, the other Mighty Man issue. I'm trying to think of the last time he put out a one shot. I'm pretty sure it was the Mighty Man one from a few years ago.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I support it. I think mostly because I think it is kind of really cool to have like this feel like a new thing for people. They'll have the bios, there to introduce them to North Force. That's going to be cool for Savage Dragon readers who are taking the double dip, because you're going to be getting those bios plus whatever the extra story content is.
Right.
And
the thing I find fascinating about it is that if he's going through all this trouble of making it a kind of a variant 0 per se, plus all the bios and everything,
right.
To me that means that these guys are probably going to stick around for a bit and not, be cannon fodder.
You sure about that? You sure it's not?
I'm not sure.
You sure it's not going to be?
You
sure it's not going to end with a book full of corpses?
That would be amazing too, actually. It just seems like to put all that effort into bios and stuff, he wouldn't kill them immediately.
I think it's.
I don't know.
No, I do think it's. That's a great point you make, Craig. I feel like it's real easy in Malcolm's era to feel like if he meets a bad guy, they're just going to get fucking killed, or even the people he meets, like Captain Tootsie. You don't necessarily see Tootsie all the time or whatever else, right? So it's kind of hard to like gauge like who is and is not important to Malcolm's world. But I agree with you. I feel like going to all this trouble kind of emphasizes that these are not, throwaway characters. And we touched on it like in the earlier, like the previous FINcasts. But it's kind of cool to have so much like new superheroic costume design going on by Eric, and new characters. Like you never know like which one of these characters is going to go the distance, which one's going to get killed. Like are we going to have a like long running like guy going like 70 issues out of North Force? Who knows, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, I just thought they were going to be throwaway characters because the names are based on sports teams. It seemed like, just gonna throw these names in. The guys will be dead in 2 issues anyway, But I don't know. The designs are cool as hell. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it is cool. I hope they stick around. I really hope they're not cannon fodder. Oh, you know what? It's time to mock people. I promised that we would. Yo, if you see this cover and the first thing out of your mouth is Alpha Flight, just go into the if you go into the utility room, find a claw hammer and just bash your genitals into jelly. That'd be perfect. I would love that if you could do that for me. So if you look at this, and that's the other thing, if you see the Canadian and you see and you just say, "Oh, it's Captain Canuck," I want you to just grab your favorite toaster, put on a
favorite toaster.
Yep, put on a nice hot bath. Just something cool. Maybe throw some rose petals down for ambiance. And plug that son of a bitch in and jump on in, because the world would be better off without you.
Harsh words from our one Raven Perez.
Yep, and now you know the rest of the story.
So should we jump into the next news item?
Please.
Couple of days ago, Eric released the cover to Savage Dragon 261. Can't believe we're already looking at 261's cover. A pretty damn cool cover. 261, the caption on the cover says, "Double the dragons, double the action, and into the hornet's nest." And it's got Paul Dragon with a new bionic arm a la Cable, and Malcolm and his favorite, what do you call those, baseball T-shirt or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
onesie.
Smashing through a ton of glass into the reader's face, but man, Paul Dragon looks cool as hell with that bionic arm, and I don't know. I'm really into his little mini croissant fin.
He fucking does, dude. He looks so badass on this cover. I love the metal arm.
Yeah. No more
it is
one-armed Paul.
It is a very cool cover. It is cool to see Paul with the arm. I think a lot of people are seeing it as a callback to that classic Spider-Man cover.
Well, that's the other thing, too. We got a little sneak peek behind the scenes where Eric tried to recreate that cover from Spider-Man, and off the top of my head, I can't think of the number. Spider-Man
I got
21.
it right here for you.
The adjective list Spider-Man 21.
Yep.
Eric, from part of Eric's famous run on that title, and it's got Deathlock back to back with Cyborg Spidey, who seemed to have caught a lot of attention for unknown reasons, but people love Cyborg Spidey, even though he appeared in two comics.
It was a variant costume in the new Spider-Man game.
Yeah,
that is what it is.
So Eric tried to do an homage to himself, and it just didn't. He couldn't get it to work, so he scrapped it. But he did give us on the Savage Dragon fan page on Facebook, gave us a little sneak peek on that.
It's cool to know that, like, and Eric doesn't really move like Dragon pages or issues or covers very often. But it's cool to know that if you were to buy that one, on the back of the cover that got used is the aborted attempt.
Is it on the back of that? I didn't realize
that is what he said, yes.
Just flipped it over and started drawing the cover he actually went with.
It's funny, like I mentioned, it's crazy how much Malcolm towers over Paul. And Malcolm's 6'6" and Paul's 5'10", so it's a big difference.
Yeah. Little Paul. Small Paul.
Small ball Paul.
Small Paul. I think, you know what, it's worth mentioning too, like for anybody who's confused about the fin, bro, the shadow on the fin on this cover tells the tale. If you're confused at all about the fin as a design thing, I want you to look at the fin on the cover. It's got a shade. It's got the shading to indicate what's going on. It tells the story.
So it's not attached all the way down to his forehead. It kind of sticks out a little bit, like Malcolm's fin.
The croissant comes up.
The front of it
sticks out. speculation time. What do you guys think the Hornet's Nest is?
I think it's just all those shards of glass are busted through.
Like they just smash through, and then like Paul looks at Malcolm and he's like, "Why'd we do that?"
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just saying, it's like getting stung by a lot of hornets going through plate glass like that.
Self-defenestration. No, it's awesome. It's a kick-ass cover. I love it. I think it's probably that's it for news, right? You fellas want to roll it? We got a pretty meaty letters section going on today.
We do.
Thank you, letter writers. Jim, you want to tell them what the prompt was that got everybody's pins waggling?
Yep. So last time we had a FINteresting Conversation question of who was the quote-unquote greatest Savage Dragon villain of all time. And some of you had opinions, and now we're going to read them. Hey there, Jim, Craig, and Raven. I've been listening to the FINcast for around 2 years now and figured it was well past time I wrote in. As for the FINteresting question this time around, I think in terms of scope, Cyberface had the most power for the longest time and gave Dragon a ton of trouble at the height of the Savage World stuff. So he'd be my choice for the greatest villain. In his initial appearances during the Overlord era, I was really uninterested in him as a character, but upon rereading the Savage World stuff, I really took to him, in large part because he was one of the few villains who actually managed to pull off world domination for a time. My favorite, on the other hand, is 100% Dart, with no competition. I find it really cool that she was a legacy character who managed to stand on her own so incredibly well, despite visually being nearly identical to the original iteration of the character. She may have ended up a complete psychopath, but take up the mantle she certainly did. Rest in peace, Dart 2. And you didn't put... Wait, who wrote this?
This is still him.
Oh, it's still... Oh, there's more letter. Sorry.
What's GBNF?
Yeah, what's GBNF?
Goodbye.
Goodbye, now fuck off, what?
Grow balls, nerd fart.
Something like that. He continues, I'm not 100% sure if you guys still take listener topics or not, but here's one on the off chance. Would you like to see another multiple part event in the level of the Savage World storyline that completely changes or shakes things up, or would you prefer more of the Monster of the Week plus Family Shenanigans style stories with some ongoing plot points we've had for the majority of Malcolm's era? Personally, I'm really into the current stuff, but it's clear Eric has it down to a science and still managing to keep the approach fresh each time, though I'd also be down to see him pull off another monumental shakeup with the newer cast. You guys are a total blast, and by this point, a quintessential part of my Dragon reading experience. Keep on kicking ass. This is from Connor. I'm going to butcher your last name. Tierney.
Tierney. Yeah.
Thank you, Connor. Right off the bat, I would say I would like a bigger, arc driven story, but even the Savage World was largely done in ones. Just all, just kind of all leading to something. It wasn't really a huge build-up. So you can do both. At least Eric has shown that he can do both. It would be nice to see a big shakeup, but in a way, moving to Canada was that big shakeup.
Yeah, it's funny. It's easy to think that, the book has gone without a huge shakeup, but in retrospect, yeah, Canada was kind of a reboot button, really.
It certainly recontextualized everything Malcolm was doing and changed his trajectory by quite a lot. So, yeah, I would say we've kind of been seeing that already. Although I get what he's saying. He wants more like a world-shattering event of some kind. But the thing is, Eric's already done a world-shattering event. Where to go from here?
I think go ahead.
All I was going to say is that for me personally, the point of the Savage World was to bring the book back into focus on Dragon and sort of pare down sort of the group dynamic and have it be more Dragon-centric.
Right.
To that end, I actually am going to say that I would prefer that it stick to the Monster of the Week style, kind of let us enjoy this current setup.
Uh-huh.
Because I personally don't think that the book would benefit from cutting all the cast down and like hyper focus on Malcolm.
Right.
Because I think Malcolm has a stronger cast now with Tootsie and Maxine, and you got Paul in the mix, and Alex and Angel and Frank Jr. It's so good. I would hate to see that all flushed away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I trust that he would do a good job if he chose to do that. But I would hate to see it all go away right now.
I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a lot of fan backlash after the Savage
Oh,
World.
I believe it. People hate change.
Looking back, I love it now, but I can tell you when that first happened, it was like it went from the Savage Dragon that everyone knows to like a Commandy type comic, and people just lost their shit about it.
People are weird because
in a bad way.
That's where I started in Savage Dragon, so for me, it's always been that way.
Right.
I miss the dynamic. I miss the hate because that wasn't kind of where I jumped in again. Because, I had that big gap. So, yeah, I totally missed that people, like, freaked out about it.
Yeah. I like those big events, but they have to be few and far between because then they're not so special. But I'm with you, Ray. I like the cast. I'm not so much into the Monster of the Week, like one and done story. I like some slow burns where things appear and then come back, 4 issues later, 5 issues later. I wish there was a little more of those kind of arcs where there's a kind of a setup and it pays off down the line. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking more of like a hybrid, but world-shattering events, those have to be few and far between for me.
Do you say around issue 300, which is only really now at this point like 4 years away at the pace we're doing, would you tolerate, do you think, a world-shattering event at issue 300 a little better than you would now, you think?
I don't know.
I know it's hard to predict where you'll be in 4 years, but I'm saying, like, do you think you could be like, we've had 4 years of Canada, or not 4 years.
I think world-shattering is the wrong thing. Like, I think maybe a major development or something, but world-shattering to me is like a Savage World event where, things have completely changed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like a major event, like the death of someone,
I'm not even sure what you could do as, like, a world-shattering event, unless you wanted to, like, toss Malcolm into space or toss Malcolm.
Yeah, you could have space adventures. It could turn into a cosmic book or something. Yeah, who knows?
There's some options. It seems like, I don't know.
Jesus, for a while, wasn't Eric saying, how would you guys feel if this turned into more of like a soap opera book? And,
right.
There was less action, just talking, I don't put anything past Eric.
You're right. I remember when he was asking that, and I think everybody was like, "Oh, we like fighting."
I got a little scared.
What? Fighting, though? Won't there be fighting sometimes?
Man, Eric's strong point is like fisticuffs, so I got a little scared.
Nah, that's bullshit. He does great talking heads. Well, he does great conversation, not talking heads.
He can do really good conversation, too. So I can't.
Yeah, I do, but I don't know. I love his...
I do have to say that I love his action. I would hate to see him not have any action.
You guys are cowards, is what I'm saying. Cowards and cowards all around me.
Craig, would you like to hit us up?
Well, I was just going to say, any listeners out there that want to answer that question of would you like to see a multiple part event on the level of the Savage World storyline, or would you prefer more of the Monster Week? Write in and answer Connor's question. Let us know your thoughts on that.
But that is
also just want to throw.
That is not the FINteresting Conversation.
Don't get it twisted. But well, we can't keep asking people to throw out FINteresting Conversations if we're not going to use them. But I do want to mention.
Respond to both.
Yeah. I do want to mention that Connor puts out a pretty cool comic. I bought, like, he has a collection that's almost manga style, like digest style, of his own character. It's Kid Eastwood, right?
Kid Eastwood, yeah.
Which, if you're a fan of Savage Dragon, it feels influenced by Savage Dragon. I don't know if that's where he got his influence from, but it's a fun read and worth checking out. I know he was selling a limited run, and he puts out individual issues. Unfortunately, I don't know his website off the top of my head, but if you look up Kid Eastwood on Google or something and Connor Tierney, you can probably find it.
Yeah, if you go to Google and you look up Kid Eastwood Webtoon, or go to webtoons.com and look up Kid Eastwood, he's got 7 issues to read completely free. And Craig, I do have to agree with you that like Kid Eastwood it's definitely like among, there's other things that have influenced him, but what's cool is that like there's definitely, to me, I feel a dragon influence for
it's
sure.
Like a One Punch Man and dragon influence wrapped up in.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah. All right, so let's jump into our. We got a lot of letters to get through. This letter's from Tony M, and Tony says, "Yo, FINcast crew, here's my reply for the latest query regarding the best Savage Dragon villain, the Claw. Here's why. Technically, he's not a dragon villain, as he was the Daredevil's main antagonist. But when he appeared in the late 190s, he was a true menace and had power levels above and beyond most dragons' rogues gallery. Dude had electrical powers, eye beams, super strength, and best of all, rapid size growing ability, and that's without penis pills. He had an arrogance and old school 1940s villainous streak that was threatening in an extreme way. Extreme. I think he punched out Powerhouse and tore up some other freaks limb from limb while Thunderhead watched in horror. Maybe the better question is what the best underutilized dragon villain is. What the best underutilized dragon villain is. We all know the Claw was beheaded by one of Daredevil's boomerangs after being weakened by, wait for it, Jim, Air Force jets. I think a better way to finish the Claw off was to find a way to release Universo on him when at full size. His visual was cool too, as he's not one to be confused for any other villain. What with the yellow skin, clawed hands, and gaping maw, loaded with some serious canine teeth. Yeah, his time in the book was brief, but I remember thinking that the dude was definitely way beyond Malcolm's ability to handle, which he was. He just seemed like a villain that would stick around for longer, but it wasn't meant to be. Interesting enough, the Claw's fate was shared by another promising villain, Scourge.
Yes. Totally
Thanks,
agree.
Tony. I wasn't that big a fan of the Claw, to be honest. I mean, he was a pretty powerful dude, but I don't know. I feel like he got enough of the spotlight in Dragon. He never felt like a Dragon character.
Yeah, he was almost too dangerous.
I liked him for that reason. I actually agree with a lot of what Tony said.
Yeah.
The Claw did really actually seem like just a guy in a different league entirely. And it's cool to note that Eric did the design that was in there. Like, it was like the original Claw was pretty gross and racist looking.
Right.
And so the one that made it into Savage Dragon was just more or less like an Eric Larson creation. So
That's true.
It is cool to think. I forgot that like Thunderhead was a fucking claw.
Yeah, his little lackey.
That was the whole thing. Is he was trying to resurrect his dad, but he resurrected the Claw by mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Claw just fucking killed that dude and was like, "You're my flunky now." Oh man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Air Force jets.
I'm not sure about other underutilized villains per se. I'd have to really think about that one.
There's a ton of the old Vicious Circle guys that were such cool visuals that
but
were
I'm talking
never
about.
used.
He's talking about like real, actual villains who were around and then were gone too soon, who actually did something.
I know. I got one. Who is the guy from Dimension X?
Oh, the demon guy?
Oh, Demon Seed.
Yeah, he was like, I thought he was going to be the next.
I
big
thought
thing,
he was
and
a
it
chump from the beginning because he had freaking he was like a nihilist or other like
he was a nihilist for Savage Dragon.
Yeah, but characters like that are like the freaking Atlantean who are fucking chumps to be chumps.
I love it. I love this bitter takedown.
I love the Atlantean. Damn it.
I like Scourge. Again, like as far as an underutilized
I guess he
villain,
qualifies now.
Yeah, I just think he was like basically like had all the potential to just be a real terror of a villain.
And then womp womp.
Dart is highly underutilized now.
Who, Dart? Yeah. You mean leg in the middle of a blood pool?
Yeah.
No, I know Tony listed it in his email, but my most underutilized guy would definitely be Scourge for sure.
Oh, you know what? There's an easy option for this. It's Cadaver. He really only did the one thing,
Abner
and you
Cadaver.
never saw him again. Yeah, Abner Cadaver.
True.
He after that thing with Dragon dying and coming back, we never really see him again. And in the Savage world, his history is different, but he's a character I think could definitely be a big player if Eric ever thought to bring him back, and he never has.
Good point.
And I think what's funny is that if you consider how Dart went from like, just like, oh, here's part of Freak Force, and a critical hero, but then like you have Dart 2, who's just like one of the most badass villains of all time.
Right.
It's like Eric definitely has the ability to escalate these jobbers into like superstars.
Right.
So, yeah, it'd be crazy.
Abner Cadaver is a string. He could literally just pop up anywhere at any time.
I do love that.
In like a new form of some kind.
Just a string.
Just a string. Just an evil string, dude. That's so cool.
I think we need to get on to this next letter. We need to keep them rolling.
Right.
We do.
This one's
Jim, take it away.
We got, hey guys, I think the best villain in Savage Dragon Comics is Powerhouse. Our chicken-headed friend is the best representation of the amazing kind of characters you can find within the pages of Savage Dragon. My initial reaction to this character was that he was a joke, but I was pleased to read as he developed into an amazing adversary and a character overall. He, along with the likes of Brainy Ape, Dung, and countless more, taught us that it takes more than an interesting visual to make a well-rounded character. While I am here, I wanted to share my thought on the new Mako. Are we sure he's going to adopt the Mako name? The only person to call him Mako to his face was Paul, and he gets an enthusiastic fuck you and a punch in the face in response. It's likely he will indeed go by Mako, but it is something I noticed. Keep up the good work, Ken Albury.
Oh my God! Real quick before you guys respond to Ken, I just remembered the second thing that I was supposed to apologize at the top of the FINcast for.
Okay.
Are you ready, dudes? Okay. Thank you, Ken, for jogging my memory. We had this huge, lengthy fucking diatribe about how we were so excited about the Executioner and being a serial killer and how would that be portrayed or whatever else. When, after the FINcast was done and after the issue released and we started talking to other Fin heads, it was so goddamn obvious that he was a Punisher metaphor.
I knew that. I thought we talked about that.
No, we didn't really talk about that.
Wait a minute. You didn't get that?
We knew that he was a Punisher thing, but dude, we went on about serial killers and it'd be so cool.
That's what the Punisher is. He's a serial killer. I thought that was like obvious. That's why I didn't say anything.
You didn't bring this to the last FINcast. You let me and Craig go on about serial killer documentaries and sewing people's mouths shut and crazy serial killer shit and trophies.
Well, there's different kinds of serial killers.
Well, this is on you, Jim, because you didn't step up and you didn't correct us. You let us sound like assholes.
I kind of thought his Punisher shirt was kind of...
Don't bring me into this. I knew. I'm not an asshole, okay?
You didn't know. You were talking about serial killers, too.
His name is the fucking Executioner.
Yeah, it's a play on the Punisher.
Oh, my God.
I don't think he's going to go around and be a good guy and
but the serial killer aspect is what I'm talking about.
My takeaway is that the difference would be is that he doesn't actually punish; he just kills people. So he does.
Right.
He has the Punisher's like methods, but he doesn't have any any scruples.
Well,
he had a Punisher shirt on. He's called the Executioner.
Then why were you agreeing?
Don't you rope me into this,
dude?
No,
Don't
you
dare! I am because we have a recording.
Dare.
We have a recording of you talking about cool. What kind of crazy serial killer things could be?
So what does that mean?
As in, I wouldn't consider the Punisher.
It's not my fault that when you hear serial killer, the only thing you can think of is Hannibal Lecter.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, is that, like, that was a dumb mistake in hindsight.
All right, Jim, roll the tape. Let's listen to
I'm
this.
not going to roll any tapes. That would require editing and work.
You know what? Take my word for it.
Here, let me click the tape. I'm Raven. I'm a big idiot. La 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 la.
All right, we need to respond to Ken.
Yeah,
here.
Ken.
Yeah,
Sorry. This guy, he has apology complexes.
Sorry. All right. In reacting to Ken's take. Go ahead.
Oh, me? Now? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this guy's going to take Mako's name. That would be dumb. But the main thing, wait. What's the question?
It was just
I lost
telling
the
you
question.
He likes
Your damn
Powerhouse.
apologies.
No, he's just telling you he likes Powerhouse the best.
Oh, well, Powerhouse is a very good villain. Of course, I like Powerhouse more because he's like a morally ambiguous antagonist.
Sure, yeah, I totally agree. And you know what's funny is he actually definitely, I think, like, is up there among the, like, all-time, like, as a memorable visual, like Ken said.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you said, morally ambiguous. Like, he's a fucking awesome character. So
Just
Powerhouse.
needs to keep that mask on.
Hmm?
He needs to keep his mask on. It's constantly falling off.
Well, that's been annoying me. That's Powerhouse's mask coming off all the time is actually my second biggest current modern dragon annoyance, right after fucking Blood. And then behind that is Jets. Powerhouse it goes Blood, mask, Jets. That's the order, Eric. Sorry.
what if, hear me out.
Blood and Freak Out together?
What
Yes.
if, hear me out, an Air Force jet shot Max Mercury, his blood shot in Powerhouse's eyes, and his mask fell off? Would you quit reading?
I'd be unhappy. I'd frown.
That would be amazing.
Just
It would be
he
amazing.
was a villain, a vicious circle heavy hitter for decades, and now it's a problem. What?
The mask is getting old, dude. It's getting tattered.
He's
Yeah, he's an
frickin'
old man.
half god.
His brain
That mask
isn't.
that mask shouldn't come off his face unless he wants it to come off his face. Like I
What if
don't
the
even
little snakes-
think of it. I don't even think of it as a mask when he's in chicken form. It's like part of him. It only comes off when he wants to go back to human form.
What if it, like, when he's making out with his homegirl Venom? Is it Venom?
No,
Snake
her
head?
Fever.
Fever.
What if when he's making out with Fever, like, the little snakes are biting him and shit, and
Yeah.
it's just weakening him?
Would he be making out with her as a chicken or as a human?
Chicken, dude. Look at that body.
Oh, it's so weird.
Yeah, but-
like a fucking beak
Yeah,
all on her
the
face.
beak is kind of concerning.
She's got gross snake hair. She can't be picky. She's going to be like, I can't kiss this gross beak. And he'd be like, well, you got a fucking head full of goddamn mouths.
Honestly
How do you
wouldn't be
kiss
so,
a beak?
It wouldn't be so bad about kissing the beak. It's more about getting kissed by the beak. Because it's a beak. I guess he can use his tongue.
FINcast title: Kissing the Beak.
Kissing the beak. I'm typing that
We
down.
just smooch the haystack and like smooch the smoothness of the beak. It's just when he nibbles at her, it's just not great.
Smooch the Haystack is a strong contender. Kissing the beak - Smooch the Haystack. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Well, you
Never
don't
thought I'd
think
be
about
thinking
this
about
stuff.
that
This
today.
is like obvious stuff. I'm sorry.
The haystack.
I don't think that Faco will adopt Mako's name. I think he will become the Executioner, which Executioner is a badass name for a shark character, and I do hope he wears the shark shirt. I mean the Punisher shirt.
Yes.
So just to add there, like, because I thought of the visual of him in the shark shirt. I mean, him in the Punisher shirt as a shark man would be goddamn awesome. So just saying, throwing that out.
Give him
I
some
think
good.
I think we brought it up, but will you think he'll have the ability? I think we brought up last FINcast, but will he have the ability to switch back from human form, kind of like Dart?
I don't think so.
It'd be cooler if he did, to me.
Honestly, I hope he just kind of explodes at some point.
I envision that he doesn't call himself anything, and just people call him Mako because he looks like Mako.
Right. Because that makes sense.
He wouldn't call himself anything.
He'd get
Like his own name, maybe, but
He's been calling himself Executioner all this time. Why would you just say, like, oh, shit, though, I do look like Mako now. Better call myself nothing. Like, that doesn't make sense.
All right, well, shit all over my theory.
I just did.
I know. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Kiss the beak.
Can we move on now? Next letter?
Kiss the beak, smooch a haystack.
I think it's time to move to the next letter.
We will. All right.
God damn it.
Dear FINcast crew, let me just say that whereas DC Comics' Holy Trinity consists of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, you fine gentlemen are the authentic three amigos. Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short, being illegitimate pretenders.
Huh? I'm Steve Martin.
Well,
calling it.
I guess I get to be Chevy Chase. Leaving Jim the Martin Short straw.
Sounds right.
Being illegitimate pretenders to the throne. You are triumvirate of triumph, a trio of brio. Now, as per your query regarding a favorite villain, that would be a three-way tie between Glum, Mako, and Shark.
Party foul.
Can't do it?
Three-way ties are for cowards.
You heard it here.
Continue, Raven.
You heard it here
Sounds
first.
like something Martin Short would say.
That is a very Martin Short take. They resonate in terms of look, badassery, and influence in the book. A three-way of debauchery, I might add, that I, and most likely Maxine, would love to see. Sadly, the odds of seeing that have been lessened by that killer double-page spread, but I still hold out hope. I should point out that Shard is the best sobriquet ever coined by man. It's immeasurably delightful. I dare say, delicious. It's a Marilyn Monroe quote. Google it. When she stands on the vent and the air blows up her skirt, Sotiris was even nice enough to share a YouTube clip of that moment so that we got the reference. Sincerely, Sotiris Gravis. P.S. The villain I despise most was featured prominently on the cover of Savage Dragon 226. P.P.S. If you don't hear from me in the near future, it's because I made an online purchase of Michael Jackson's hyperbaric oxygen chamber and plan to ride out COVID in suspended animation. Wish me luck. It's a one of a kind letter writer, letter hack. FINcast definitely has a letter hack in you, Sotiris. Thank you so much. Jim has declared that you are a coward. You cannot do three-way ties. I expect to hear.
I have a 100-way tie favorite villain.
Yeah.
Do you know who the villain is on 226 that he's referring to?
I was gonna guess, but now I'm not sure.
Lay it on me.
The Orange Man.
Oh.
Wait, who's the Orange Man?
You know who the Orange Man is.
Oh. Wait, no. Wait a minute.
Oh, he who shall not be
Wait a
named.
minute. Orange Man.
Yeah. We're not allowed to talk about him anymore. Those times are past. The dark times are over. We're into the new era of America.
Literally have no idea who you guys are talking about.
His name rhymes with Tronald Drumpf.
Oh, wow. That was all the way back in 229? Holy crap. Time sure
You're
has
fired.
226. 226, my friend.
Well, it's certainly a good real-life villain, so... kudos to Eric for avoiding all of the juicy news morsels. You know what? This is a great point to throw this on. People were asking Eric to draw Bernie in the mittens in the pages of Savage Dragon.
Really?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Have you ever met the man?
Meme humor in Savage Dragon? No,
I mean,
never.
He did sing Wrecking Ball that time.
Who?
Malcolm.
Oh.
He came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, but that's not meme humor. That's just a song that was popular at the time.
I mean, what is a meme if not that?
It's meme is Bernie Sanders in mittens.
No,
it won't make any
that's not
sense
true.
at all.
A meme is literally any construct that represents a moment in time.
He's saying construct.
No, it's not. So you're telling me pop music is memes?
If it is popular enough to be a reference to something. Malcolm singing Wrecking Ball in the shower is a reference. I don't know.
References are not memes. Memes are just fucking information shared by people, and it's just
that's music. Popular music.
But a reference is not a meme.
Yeah, of course it is if enough of a population recognizes it.
A meme is that lawyer that had the cat filter on, and he was looking down, and he's like, "I'm not a cat." That's a meme.
You do know memes predate the internet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
All right. What else?
How about right now I'm a gif of Homer walking back into the shrubs.
Right. Now that's a meme. It's not a reference. I'm kidding.
When everyone gets up to dance YMCA, they're memeing.
No.
Because it's a collective understanding of a concept.
Is Jesus a meme?
Yeah, actually, yes. Religion is a meme.
All right.
Wow. A meme is an idea, behavior, or style that becomes a fad and spreads by means of imitation from person to person.
Yep.
That's why I wouldn't call a pop song a meme.
But
it's
it is
simply a popular thing.
But it is by definition a meme.
Are
it's just
a meme?
Our internet age has
it's
made
not an idea, behavior, or style.
It's a style. Music is a style.
Right.
There's styles of music.
No,
but
Wrecking Ball is just a
not
popular song that people in that moment would have been singing.
I think there's clearly been a disconnect here at some point, but my point stands. You are entitled to your wrong opinion.
I think there's a disconnect here, but I'm right, you're wrong. Fuck off.
That's it. Yeah. Wow.
If you want to write in and tell us the definition of memes, find us at Savage FINcast at Savage FINcast at gmail.com.
Thank you, Satiris, for writing in.
Answering memes only.
It actually is awesome to hear from you. However, the hammer has been laid down by the meme master himself, James Purcell. You will have to choose between Glum, Mako, and Shark. You don't get to do a three-way tie, my friend. That's just cheating.
No three-way dances. They gotta fight in the squared circle. Last man standing wins.
Yeah. So please, if you would be so kind as to give us your future correspondence on that matter, we would appreciate it. Moving right along, I believe we have the final letter. Hey guys, just want to drop you a line to say thanks for the consistent awesome work you do with the FINcast. I've been thoroughly entertained through the years. You guys deserve a tip of the fin. A few episodes back, you were all discussing Eric's Spider-Man cyborg arm, and I love the conversation, especially Raven's desire for that arm. Well, this is what fell out of my pencil based on that Finversation. Continue with the fantastic work and all the best. Thanks, Jeff. Dear listener, I am sorry that this is merely a podcast and not a $1 million budget video extravaganza, because we would be flashing on the screen right now a truly magnificent piece of art. Jeff captured my likeness. He gave me the Spider-Man cyborg arm. I gotta say,
wasn't that so you could whack off with it?
Yes, dude.
Get your skin caught in the edges.
I would imagine that those
probably be worse than Powerhouse's Beak.
I love it that you took it back to the Beak. I would imagine if it was my cyborg arm, that those balls around the bicep would just shoot lube into my palm. It'd just be like, and just shoot lube like into the palm, and it'd be ready to go. Otherwise, what
punk? It'd be a vibrating arm.
Yeah, dude. Why not? Right? I mean, come on.
What if lube just excreted from like the ribbed edges, the metal ribbed?
I don't know. I still say it would be like making love to a cheese grater.
You don't know until you've tried it. That's all I'm saying. You don't know until you've tried it. Thank you, Jeff. Actually, like, legitimately, jokes aside, that was absolutely incredible. Thank you very much. As I understand it, this is perhaps, my first piece of FINcast fan art. But Jim, he has another podcast. He has received fan art as well. I think that means there's just one person here. It's the last girl to, sitting on the sidelines waiting to dance.
I don't even want one, all right? Fuck it. Shit's so lame.
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
It's lame? Not having your own fan art.
Yeah, it is. God damn it.
Yeah.
I just don't have the sexy voice like Raven or Jim.
You're good.
Yeah,
your
you
voice
do.
Is sexy. Yeah.
Mine's all like nasally. Are you crazy?
No, mine's nasally, Jim. Yours is.
Jim, you have
a
good
more
voice.
like announcer voice.
God.
Yeah,
and Raven is like the character voice.
Well, yeah, Raven's freaking supermodel.
No. No, I'm not. Mm-mm. No. Thank you, though. Appreciate it. You are kind. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, everybody who wrote in a letter. Jim and Craig, you both have beautiful faces and voices. Someone please bless these men with their own cyborg arms. They don't have to be for masturbation. They can just have awesome robot arms.
So, well, they can be. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
What if someone gives us fan art of Jim kissing the Beak?
Don't know who or what.
And parting the haystack.
That doesn't sound great.
Make hay. That's why they call it making hay.
Wow, it took you that long.
A roll in the hay. I'm sorry. That's
tweaking the Beak.
All right, so what's next?
2 in the beak, 1 in the stink.
Okay, that's pretty good too.
I believe Craig is in control of our destiny here at the moment. He's the one that decides when we roll forward.
Sorry.
No, that's good. Don't ever apologize for that.
Never stop stopping.
Then I'd be Raven. I'm so sorry.
I'm not sorry anymore. You guys have destroyed all sorrow that was in my heart. I have only hate now.
Buck up and get ready for a FINteresting conversation like none other. So I think before we talk about this question, we need to kind of enlighten the listeners of how we came across this FINteresting conversation with this new Spawn news.
It was foreshadowed earlier in the podcast.
What year is this?
It's the year of Spawn.
Is it 1921?
2021 is the year of Spawn.
So, you know more about this than I do. I guess both Raven and Jim, but
all the news is, I'll let you do the conversation, but I'll just give the news. But like basically, all the news is that Todd McFarlane drops a pipe bomb on Instagram, all social media. He lets the world know. It's like trending on news sites and everything. But like basically, Todd has decided that 2021 is the year of Spawn, and that what that translates into is that he is going to roll out 4 new number 1s. However, the number 3 of these 4 titles, like one's just a one shot, 3 of these titles are going to go on to be ongoing. The intent is not that they're mini series or limited series. The intent is to go as long as they can. And the idea is that with the regular current going like Spawn title in the mix, you will have effectively a new Spawn comic every single week of the year.
And that is a threat.
Yeah. And he went on to list the talent involved, and it is kind of like a lot of heavy hitters, new guys, seasoned vets. He's got Art Adams doing some covers, David Finch, Greg Capullo, J. Scott Campbell. He's got Donnie Cates as a writer, which Donnie Cates is hot as fuck right now in terms of writing. He's on every fucking thing.
Cates is on the rise. He's pretty good. I read a bunch of his books at DC and Image.
Yeah, blowing the fuck up. So these are not nobodies, but he also has new, fresh talent. And he even shared like some of the previews of their work, and it's really cool. He's got like a dude that paints that I've never heard of. He's got a guy that does clearly like digital work.
Does backflips.
Just really good stuff. And also it's funny because he like lists all the talent and then he puts himself there at the very end. He's like, I'll also be doing stuff. So it's funny this year of Spawn that he waited till February 18th to unleash on us. But it's cool. It's big news. Like it's been, Spawn has had ongoing series, but the intent is to give Spawn readers new Spawn content every single week, which is nuts, really. I mean, it's a good time to be a Spawn fan.
Who asked for this?
Well, it's worth saying that 300 was huge, and Since 300, Spawn sales have been on the rise. Yeah. Since COVID, comic sales have been on the rise. So it's actually a really good time for this, is all.
Yeah. No, I know Spawn's been on the rise big time. 300
was amazing. It was the number one selling comic of 2019. Spawn 300.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
All right, so let's get it. So with that little bit of backstory, let's get into this FINteresting Conversation. So in light of the news that Spawn will now have 3 new ongoing series, so that there is a new issue of Spawn every single week of the year, what 3 Savage Dragon companion titles would you introduce to fill every week of the year? Every week of the month, though, not of the year, right?
Oh, basically, when I say every week of the year, I mean every single week in the year.
There would be a new Savage Dragon. So you're talking about one a week.
One a week.
So 4 a month.
4 a month, yep.
So 4 titles that would go on month to month.
Well, mine are pretty easy. So do you guys have any?
You only need to list 3 because ongoing Savage Dragon is the 4th title. So what 3 Savage Dragon companion titles would you personally introduce to fill it out? One little caveat to this FINteresting Conversation, Jim doesn't like this, so don't feel beholden to it. But if you want to throw in creator, like writer, artist, go for it. But don't feel like you have to. If it makes it easier to just say, I want to see Dart, I want to see Hortus, yada yada, just do that.
All right, so who wants to go first?
Take it away, Jim.
Jeez, okay. Here we go. All the easy ones.
Okay.
So obviously we need a Super Patriot book. That is freaking no-brainer. Most marketable character Eric has ever created. I don't know why there isn't already a Super Patriot series. Crazy. Sure. But of course, you need an artist. There's only one choice that comes to mind, and that is Daniel Warren Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
That would be great.
Fuck yeah.
If you can't have Dave Johnson, we can get the other Johnson.
Johnson & Johnson, baby.
I would like to throw out Corey Walker.
Ooh.
Throw him under a bus? Oh.
No.
Oh. No, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, Corey Walker was great on Super Patriot. And yeah, I mean, if he wanted to come back, I wouldn't say no. But not...
He's too slow.
Too slow.
I mean... Yeah.
So I assume Super Patriot is one of your choices as well, Craig?
No, let Craig do his. What are yours?
Well, then obviously the next one has to be... which was it? Oh, yeah. We got to have the Flash Mercury Powerhouse Hour.
Yes. That's one of mine. I didn't have Super Patriot, but that was one of mine.
Cool. Very cool.
Who would do that is a good question. I definitely want Gary Carlson writing it.
Sure.
Artist, I'm up in the air on.
Okay. And your third?
Third, I would do Savage Dragon Universe.
Oh, you rip off!
Yeah, because it wasn't that obvious.
Well, just as a heads up for listeners, if you didn't know, one of the titles that McFarlane has is simply called Spawn Universe.
Well, I'm not ripping off his. I'm ripping off Invincible Universe.
I mean, you kind of are. No, I'm kidding.
Because I'm also ripping off Invincible Universe's artist, because the only person I would want on that book is absolutely Todd Knockett. Todd Knock.
Cool.
Because he's a fucking amazing artist, and I love him. And I would actually have it written by another writer I'm a big fan of, and that's Alex DeCampi, who I think would do a great job writing a lot of Savage Dragon characters. And that's what Savage Dragon Universe would be all about, is just highlighting all those characters that just do not have enough time to show up in Savage Dragon proper.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you know, it's funny, I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't even realize that McFarlane might have seriously been ripping off Invincible Universe.
Oh, there's lots of books called Universe. Like, dozens.
But I mean the concept.
Dozens. It ain't new.
Well,
okay. It's just Marvel Comics Presents. It's just Marvel Team Up.
You're right. Well, Craig, would you like to go next?
Sure. I had 4, but if I have to go down to 3, this is my 3. I say the Powerhouse Flash Mercury Fever gang, like Jim said, written and drawn by Keith Giffen.
You know, I'd actually call it Freak Force, now that I think about it.
Keith Giffen doing his kind of like Kirby-ish drawings. I would love to see Freak Force by Mike Allred.
That's a good choice.
I think that would be pretty cool. Almost like a different take on it, like some of the same characters, but I think seeing Mike Allred take on some longtime Savage Dragon characters would be fun. I mean, we've seen him do Dragon, but not, like a Barbaric or, Ricochet by him would be awesome. And then, I don't know, either Vanguard by Fosco, bringing an old favorite Vanguard back, or the North Force with Malcolm in it by Rick Leonardi or someone like that.
Nice, dude. What was your fourth, just out of curiosity?
Well, that's what I was either it was Freak Force Powers or Vanguard or North Force.
Killer.
How about you?
Killer titles. So get ready. We're about to get juicy, wild, and delicious. I'll get the lame, easy one out of the way because you guys listed it already. I would love to see that Monster Hunter book, Flash, Mercury, and Powerhouse, and Fever. So fucking good. Creative team, got to be Gary. Frank is fine. Could be any other, like, whatever, but just as long as it has that Gary Frank dynamic. I think they did perfect on it. If you're going to get somebody else, just at least have them follow in that vein. Like, I'm not trying to rewrite something crazy. Like, I just would love to have more of that.
It's a good team. I should have said that on Vanguard too, but Gary and Frank. I just said Frank, but yeah, that team goes together.
Yeah, the feel, like, can't beat it. Walden Wang's pay-per-view brawl. Yep.
That's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I would love to see a series centered around fights, because I think Savage Dragon has some of the most kick-ass action, and I think that it would be a great vehicle to have just everybody exposed to the cast of Savage Dragon. You could introduce VC goons that are just in it for the money. You could have heroes that are like getting dragged into it for some reason. You could even introduce a new character that could be like kind of like a lead, that like in that way he's like your new lead into the book, but he's experiencing all these characters. But you would obviously have that crossover. Malcolm could drag into fights. Paul could. It'd just be a showcase of all these characters. So that's my, like, since you put me on the ropes, you took my Savage Dragon universe. Walden Wang's fucking pay-per-view fight thing is my...
Would you just call it Wang Fight?
Wang Fight? Beautiful. Chef kiss. Beautiful. Wang Fight. And then my third and final one, I'm going to go wacky once more and say Adventures in the Savage Dragon Multiverse. And this would be a book with revolving talent. It would just be done in ones, and it would explore just different parallel dimension Savage Dragons. That way you could drag in top name talent just as they were free and available. You got Grant Morrison. He clearly is an Eric Larson fan. Bring him in. You got Jim Rugg. He's clearly a Savage Dragon fan. Bring him in. You got all these different dudes. Savage Dragon is a book that is huge in the industry. It's known.
Tom Sholey.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, dude! Absolutely. So that would be. I hate that I kind of have like two showcase books here, but the difference is their function. Like Wang Fight is about highlighting what is existing in the Savage Dragon universe, and the Savage Dragon Multiverse is about exploring some of these different. And I think you could have different concepts that would be fun to explore. Like
I actually think that would work best for Eric too, because it's multiverse stuff. Eric doesn't really want anyone messing with his stories or anything that really, for the most part,
Yeah.
So if you did like a multiverse, you could have anyone do anything, and it really doesn't mean anything to the main story because it's all multiverse.
And it's understood that it's like kind of like just like, whatever. So you're getting stories like, what if Dark Dragon like just continued his life with Alex? Like what would happen? You could have a what if vibe. You could have like crazy like future dragon, like Judge Dredd dragon in there. Like all that different stuff. I think it opens it wide the fuck up. So those are my three if I'm doing that. And so I know that's a cheat because that has like revolving talent, but whatever.
That's cool.
So that's it, baby.
So let's hear your thoughts, dear listeners. Write into FINteresting Conversations at savagefincast@gmail.com. Let us know, who would you put on these books and what books would you pick? So besides Savage Dragon, if you had 3 other titles that would come out the other 3 weeks of the month ongoing, what would you pick and who would work on it?
And that would be the year of Savage Dragon. Oh, I love it.
So I think it's about that time.
You gentlemen hungry? Do you have a craving for meat and potatoes?
Sure.
Let's get into it.
I sure do, Raven.
Let's get into it. Savage Dragon 257. Right off the bat, this cover, baby. We were hyped on it. As soon as we saw it, we were like, oh, yeah. But it's good.
It's freaking Thor. I mean, how can you not be hyped with a Thor appearance?
Yeah.
There's going to be some crazy action.
You know when Thor shows up, shit's going to get fucking hectic.
He is a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Loathsome. He is loathsome.
That cover is awesome, though. That crack to the head.
We last saw him escaping from the confines of Godtown. He was shackled up, and his son Miki broke him out. Right? Am I right?
Yes.
That's right, right.
Yes.
Okay.
In the last anniversary issue.
Right, right. So,
and he was blind.
Yep. And him and his son had this cool sort of like, bat attack thing where his son would be like, Father, over here. And like Thor would just run over, like, beat the hell out of whatever was over there. Good shit, dude. Very hyped.
Dude, I flipped open this issue, and that first page blew me away.
Yeah. Completely agree, dude. What a gorgeous cover. I mean, secondary cover, interior cover, whatever you want to call it.
First page?
First page, yeah. Fucking beautiful, dude.
Eric
art.
has always drawn very good snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. The colors, the sky, even, the colors add a lot too, but it's just cool. I love, I guess her name is it Grunhilde?
Yep.
We learn as we go on.
Yep.
But her costume with that hat is just different. It's cool.
It's very cool. This whole scene, like you said, just like immediately, like you've got like a kick-ass character design. You've got the intensity of like the snow field, like that's accomplished via the colors and stuff. But then also too, just like all that shrubbery and shit. Oh, it's just so cool.
You got Mickey or Mickey. I don't know how you say it.
I would say Miki.
Thor's son.
I don't know.
Kind of talking to this chick who we've never seen before, who looks like some kind of Viking Valkyrie or goddess or something, or just, I don't know, some frontiers woman.
Thou best stay clear of yonder dwelling, fair maiden. And then we flip the page and we see why, man. It's our boy Ragnar getting his teeth, Thor doing a little dentistry.
Dude, Eric draws the best, like, molars flying in your face.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Big chunky molars.
It is brutal, dude. Just busting him in the mouth with Mjolnir.
And so, just for the listeners, it's Ragnar who we saw previously when the ant last was it Ant's last appearance?
Yep, Ant was trying to deal with a rampaging Ragnar.
Because someone had hijacked his body.
Rich people.
Yes.
Rich people hijacked his body.
So I guess Ragnarok has been living like outside of Godtown this entire time, which is unusual because usually they get dragged back.
Him and Grunhilde both, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, and it was in 242 where his only other appearance, I believe.
Yeah, he is getting royally fucked up, and Grunhilde hears the struggle and is wanting to run to his aid, and Miki's trying to save her bacon, but she just ain't having it.
Thor is so damn brutal, man. Just rips his eyes out and just uses them for his own, which is great. I'm glad Thor has his eyes again because
jams the eyes in his own sockets. I gotta know how Blood Man Jim feels about that.
Well, it makes more sense because they're gods. Like shit like this just works. That doesn't bother me at all.
So you're okay with the fact that he just jams an eye in his socket and it works?
Yeah, he's a god.
Yeah, he's a god.
I think it's cool as fuck.
You're not okay with that?
No, I love it, dude. I was just was expecting Jim to hate it.
There's nothing. They're magic. There's not like questions of genetics involved.
It's cool. It's cool as shit. I love that this is how Thor gets his eyes back.
Dude, I love his like rapey grin in the bottom. It's so creepy.
It's very creepy. Dude,
so gross.
Dude, you talk about creepy. Look at goddamn Ragnarok. Looking like a horror panel.
Yeah, his teeth gone, his eyes out, and just, I don't know though, that Thor with like the blood coming out of his eyes, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, dude, it's creepy. Like you said, rapey vibes, dude. Just creepy. Yeah. Creepy dialogue.
I think that mixed with like, on these first few pages, Eric's like shaky panels. Mm-hmm. Just set a scene, just like a horror scene, it's cool.
It really, well, what's funny is Eric really works hard to make every issue work as somebody's first issue. And like, say that you didn't know Thor. Say that you didn't know what a bastard he was, or just how brutal he is, or how vicious.
You learn real fast.
Yeah. That's it. And what's funny is, like, appreciate some sequential art here. Like, every panel with Thor has that shaky, brutal panel. And the panel borders outside of the cabin are, like, more clean and, like, thin.
Yeah.
And so, then the minute she shows up in the cabin, everything's brutal. It's really subtle sequential art. But,
It's everything where Thor is involved in the scene.
Yep.
Because it's that whole like creep fact, like that just chaotic, I guess is the word.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good, dude. So good.
It really impacts the reading experience. It's almost subliminal.
You pointed it out, like when we were doing those previous reviews, or I wouldn't have even noticed it. But once you point it out, it's like, oh man, dude, just like using even the panel border to help like convey storytelling. That's fucking nice.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, well, so real quick, since we have Thor, like we know now, like we're in the issue, we see he has his eyes. Cool little like hiding of the development in the on the cover is like you go to the cover and look real quick, and Thor's got the squint, right? Like so, on the cover you can't tell whether he's got his eyes not or not. But then, of course, we get the issue, and bam, he's jamming Ragnarok's eyes in his own holes, like like within like panels. So just cool. I love to have a little like fake out there.
Right.
We have a fantastic Maxine and Malcolm moment. Jim, extra appreciative of this exchange.
Oh yeah, Malcolm's totally in the right here. Paul's just a weirdo showing up. Kids calling him grandpa. What the fuck, man?
Right. I love it. I love the comedy of everyone else being like, whatever. And Malcolm being deeply disturbed by Paul.
He's not his dad. Period.
It's true, but for some reason it just doesn't bother me. I don't know why. I don't mind Paul showing up.
I'll be honest.
He shares the memories, so it's not that completely off. And we've talked about this. But
we've learned over and over again the memories are kind of residual. If you weren't the primary, the memories are not super strong. They're just kind of there. You have no emotional connection to them. At least that's how it's been implied to me. But
I'm sure though, like if you're Angel and you had a connection to Dragon and some guy comes out and he looks exactly like Dragon besides the fin, the voice and everything, and has some of the memories, you'll have a connection to that
terribly
person.
Creepy. How creepy that would be.
You know how I know it's not creepy? Because there's even like pop culture memes, if you will, about people that are like hooking up with like, their fallen lovers, like, twin brother or something like that, because it's just the closest thing they can
not
get.
Creepy.
I'm just saying it is, but also too, people do it. You
Look,
know, when you're desperate.
I'm sure Malcolm has read all his dad's tales of Dark Dragon and realized nothing good can come of this.
Do you really think Paul is like a ill omen? Like there's bad things coming? I don't think so.
Maybe
I don't
he's
think
got
so.
all of Dark Dragon's memories too, and he's feeling on the dark side. He's got Kerr memories bouncing around in there. Who knows?
Where does Maxine shop for these shirts?
Nope.
They're too
No pants are the best pants.
too awesome.
Probably on the internet, to be honest, because you can pretty much get anything on a shirt on the internet.
True. COVID.
I love the pinchy ear panel with like the stars coming off the ear.
Me too, dude. Yeah, Malcolm's annoyed face, you know. He's not my dad.
He's really annoyed that he did the whole comic issue about him.
Yeah. Think about what's funny is this way he puts it though. It totally makes sense that he would be annoyed. He's like he moved in with Dad's old girlfriend and even started an issue of my comic.
He's taken over my life. What the fuck?
Oh please, you were in a coma and it was your dad's comic book to begin with.
He's not my dad.
I like that Maxine.
There's a lot of little reference footnotes on this one page.
I love it.
It's good though. I don't mind them. They don't bother me.
I like
How about the scene
that the
God.
C Savage Dragon 255 boxes that appear twice have the same star number because they're the same caption.
Right. How about Paul Dragon working in construction with one
Makes
arm?
sense.
I love it, dude. I love that panel of Paul with just like the one arm and the scarf and the COVID mask. It's so good.
All right. We got to have the Finn conversation now.
No, I was going to say the fin makes sense. Look at it. This is where the shadow once again
There's a
helps it make sense.
there's a problem, especially
No.
with this very specific panel.
No, lay it on me.
It looks. Look, how do I explain this?
Okay, go
It
ahead.
looks flat because if it was from this angle, there would be like, I don't know. I don't think.
It doesn't because there's shading. There's literally shading
Yeah,
and
look at the
shadow.
shading. It's,
Yeah, but the shadow makes it look thin.
No,
No.
it has
No.
depth. It has highlights at the top and dark at the
that
bottom.
shadow's not thin. The shadow is of the bottom of his fin. The bottom of his fin is
All right.
triangle
So, okay,
shaped.
so I don't have a way to actually illustrate this. It would make it a lot easier if I did. But if that was true, remember his face is in like a 3/4 view. It's not in profile. It's not straight on. So why doesn't the point of the fin like show up at the middle of his face? Why doesn't it curve around? Does that make-
I don't understand what you don't understand.
I'll have to diagram it after the podcast.
Okay,
All right.
because I'll tell
it's
you.
too hard to do this on air.
Yeah. I was gonna say like on that panel. So the panel that you're referring to, where it's
Here.
a 3/4, you don't understand how like visually that black shadow coming off is sort of telling you that the fin has depth.
Right, because it's underneath where I would think there would be meat.
The fin doesn't. It's flat on the tip. As in the profile, look below in the profile.
I
it's
see it.
flat.
I see it.
Right.
I'm not blind. I'm just saying it still doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay, but like what doesn't make sense?
I will diagram it for you and pass it along.
Okay,
And then
I need you to.
Moving on.
Craig, real quick. It makes sense to you now, right? It's a croissant.
Don't drag me into this, damn it.
It's a croissant.
No, it does make sense to
It's
me.
a croissant
Yeah.
with a flat tip, a triangle in the front. That's it. That's literally
Yes.
what it is.
Yes.
All right, moving along. I
Yes.
do love that Paul is doing this. I love that Alex is getting a happy ending. I don't care. Like, I love this old bitch, and I want her to have a happy ending. And I always thought Original Dragon did her dirty. And, you know, maybe Paul's making a joke about marriage, but I would love for these two to get married. I don't care.
I don't think it's a joke. Do you think it's a joke?
I don't think it's a joke. I think he's, like, ready to... Why wouldn't he, dude? Like, here's this chick that he's, like... She's super crazy about him, whether they really are the original two or not. Like, why wouldn't he?
Right.
I don't know. I hope they get married. That's all I'm saying. I'm rooting for them.
Double wedding.
Team Paul and Alex. Do it. Pollux.
Upstage Angel. I'm sure she'll love that.
You know what? Sidebar. Whenever people propose at other people's weddings, it makes me furious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like taking
Yep.
Taking the eyes off of the people whose days it's supposed to be about, taking the attention away.
It's like going to someone's funeral and dying. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Guys.
You'll have your time. This is mine.
Exactly. I just feel like it's like wedding jacking. Don't you feel it's like wedding jacking? Like you're just taking it?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
What if at Angel's wedding, Paul proposes to Alex? Wedding jacker.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, dude.
What if they get married at their wedding?
That's the worst.
Got a priest.
That's the worst.
Got a priest there.
Cheap. You're a cheapo. Thor is villainous as hell. I have to assume that he sexually assaulted and murdered Grunhilde.
I think that is the implication. Yes, Raven. You got the context. Congratulations.
just saying. That's one evil son of a bitch. But he's always been a gross, rapey type dude.
Yeah, yes.
It's always been his thing. So.
Yep.
And interesting characterization.
Just like her.
Seems like his son's a little bit more tender-hearted than him.
Well, yeah, you'd have to be.
Like the whole issue.
He's learning the ropes.
But I mean, the whole issue, he's like questioning like Thor's ways. He's like, did that have to happen? And he's trying to keep Grunhilde safe. Like, don't go in there. It just seems kind of like, I don't know, like maybe if he could go the distance, he could be a good guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a lot of years of being a good guy ahead of him.
Me too. Me too, dude. I think he's got a bright future. That's one of my new spin-offs, Mickey. He's one of my Year of Savage Dragon characters. I like that Thor is like informed that Dragon is dead and just instantly
he doesn't care.
He doesn't give a fuck. Somebody's got to pay.
And pay dearly.
Yeah. He's gonna kill. He's like that'd be like he's like, man, I want to really kill that Craig. Craig died. Well, I want to kill his kids then. It's like, what? Fucking evil, dude.
Well, he's a god. He's all about legacy.
I really enjoy this Angel, lately from, in the past year. Like, well, I guess since the anniversary, since 250, like. Her look and the attention that Eric's given her and stuff like that.
Agree.
This one page, like even like her face, she looks really good. She's just drawn well. I love that. Like she's trying to lose that weight that she gained from, I guess, COVID.
I think it's a cool touch because like I've seen real people talking about the COVID weight they've put on.
Yeah.
And I like it. I just like it. It feels like you're talking about like...
And she's getting ready for a wedding, too, so...
Yeah. And if you've ever known anybody, it doesn't matter how good they look. When they've got a wedding coming up, it's fucking celebrity makeover time. Like, they're busting ass like crazy. Don't you guys love the snow effects on the silhouette?
Yeah. It's a cool dialogue, too. It's a good way to portray a lot of information by having her, like, on the phone with Malcolm.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of a neat touch on this sequence because you're not getting Malcolm's part of it at all, but you completely know exactly what he's saying.
Right. It's a cool little scene.
I like it. I like it a lot, too. Jim?
I do like the point where she's like, Malcolm, you're from another dimension. I'm from another dimension. Alex is from another dimension. Don't go hating on Paul just because he's from another dimension. It kind of, you forget after all these issues, like, none of those characters are from this dimension.
Right. It's great, dude. It's great characterization, It's funny, too, because you get the same conversation between Malcolm and Angel that you got pages back between Maxine and Malcolm. And yet, because he's talking to Angel, even though it's the same thing, he's got a completely different perspective. I mean, she's got a completely different perspective. And yet she agrees with Maxine. Like, it's just really nice characterization. You know what? I will take that Savage Dragon soap opera comic.
Yeah.
I could just read pages and pages of that. Then the Thor bastard hour continues. We get to see Miki being kind. He's like just wanting to ask for assistance.
Ask? There will be no asking, boy. Humans are to be commanded.
They pray to gods and thank us for allowing them to exist. So good, dude.
Just kicking down his suburbanite's home again with the scratchy panel. Oh shit! Boom!
Can you imagine?
It's just a family eating and they're just turning like, huh? What the fuck?
Can you imagine fucking Thor kicks your door down? Serve him well or suffer his unholy wrath.
'Tis Thor, god of thunder, who walks among you mortals.
So
what?
good.
Who the fuck is this guy? This clown.
So good, dude. And then
Mud dwellers. Mickey called them mud dwellers.
It's pretty good.
Do as my father commands, mud dwellers.
I mean, he's not all good. He's clearly a little shit.
Well, he doesn't know any better.
He's learning.
I love Eric Larson's snowball fight is what I've learned since Canada. I'll take all those snowball fights you want to give me.
It's a good way to
You know who we haven't
at least feature the kids for a panel,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like it's a good way to fit them in. So it's hey, don't forget, you know.
You know what we haven't seen in a while? Where's
Who's
the
that?
maid? What's her name? Greta.
Rita?
Yeah.
She's Greta. I said Greta. I said Rita. Greta would be at home. They wouldn't need her while they were out and about.
Last snowball fight she was there though.
Last time, yeah.
Well, touche.
A scant year ago.
Dude, I love this scene between the Canadian and Malcolm, and it made me think differently about Malcolm and make me wonder if people in this universe think that Malcolm's just some actor and not a real superhero.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I got massive Sergeant Marvel vibes.
Yeah.
He seems like a tool.
Just like the rigid leader that's kind of just douchey,
You think
unknowingly.
he'd know better?
I kind of like that he's not a good guy. He's not just immediately friendly with Malcolm. That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
That he just comes up and he just thinks. And you're right, Craig. I hadn't really thought about the way, people in general perceived Malcolm. But it makes a lot of sense because not only did he have the reality TV show, he had the pay-per-view where he was fighting, Powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of he's kind of got...
Well, he also makes the point that last time he saw him, he was a bloody mess on the ground. So the only thing he's known in real life with Malcolm is seeing him torn apart. So it's is this guy really any good?
Right.
He got destroyed by a chick that flings darts.
Yeah, the cops killed Dart, and fucking Malcolm couldn't do it. You know what I mean? So this guy's probably this fucking guy. I also too, it's kind of drives the point home. Look how goddamn inhumanly white his flesh is.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see when he is eventually unmasked, what the fuck's going on.
Right.
Telling you, he's a snowman.
Just a snowman.
I think he's probably that Justice Inc. guy. You ever see Justice Inc.? It was a Kirby book.
No. Educate us.
Listeners, look it up. Jack Kirby, Justice Inc. He's just got pale white flesh. I don't even know the reason why. Anyway,
It's good. I like it.
I'll leave it to you to look it up.
Bro, anytime there's a double page spread, holy shit. Fantastic. Our man Grizz taking one in the teeth from Mjolnir.
I'm surprised these idiots aren't all dead.
Well, they're a little tougher than you think, right?
They would have to be.
They're getting their asses handed to them, true, but it's like Malcolm says later, for ruin a little bit, they just don't know. They just don't know Thor is all.
Which is why I'd assume they'd all be fucking murked.
Well, they're just tougher than, they're just like, what's funny is we just don't know their toughness levels, and you're kind of getting to see it right now. Like, to me, I thought Thor was going to murder the shit out of him. And, nah, man, they are...
Unfortunately, they do have future cover armor.
That's not a guarantee of nothing. Not a guarantee of nothing. But I love it.
I love when Eric draws boots with traction and stuff on it.
Mm-hmm. Ragnarok had a good boot earlier in the issue, you know? But this is great. All these fucking, like, downed trees and, like, you know, just fucking all this foliage and shit.
What's his name? Miko? Mika?
Miki?
Miki's trying.
Mickey,
He's trying
Mickey.
his hardest.
Wimp.
I'm kind of annoyed. Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, I'm kind of annoyed we don't see more of, like, action from that Blue Jay guy or the Jet. Like, I feel like this splash is the only thing we see of them in this issue.
Well, we certainly see the blue guy getting his head fucking crushed. He's you flip the page, he's getting pretty good pounding to the head. So that might be why you don't see him later. He might be dead. If you wanted a body count, he might be fucking dead. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's a guy in armor. I mean, maybe they're disposable.
Yeah, you never know if there's
true. Maybe he's a robot.
Yeah, like a Die Hard situation.
No, maybe
that actually would be pretty awesome.
Maybe he's a Tony Stark who just got his head pulped. And now we'll get a Jim Rhodes.
They open his mask and just fucking blood just pours out like soup.
It's just
God damn.
It's just a government suit. They just put different people in it.
You're next, Pally.
Guys, I love Flaming Skullhead, like Northern Light.
Yeah.
She's so awesome.
Flame or whatever, I don't know.
Northern Light. No, I'm kidding. Like, she's fucking awesome as shit. I love her visual.
If we didn't have that Freak Force cover, I probably would have thought Raptor was a goner when I saw that panel of her head getting grabbed.
Yeah. I thought Raptor was going to get decapitated. I really fucking did. I appreciate the shadows on the boobs through her shirt.
Oh, yeah?
Just saying. I just appreciate it.
I love the scene. They're showing up in the helicopter. And the panel, the helicopter pilot, and he's just like, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. And the Canadian's just like, hold on, Gully. It's going to hit. The guy's name is Gully.
Gully, yeah. Was that unintentionally funny?
I just like he's just some known guy. Is this their helicopter, like North Force's helicopter pilot, Gully?
Yes.
They don't have a Quinjet type thing. They just get a little helicopter.
Just a helicopter.
Driven by Gully.
Well, it's a police chopper. You see later it has police written on the side.
All right.
Oh, okay. Red. That's what's throwing me off.
Oh, it is. You're right. Good call. So the police just chauffeur them around?
You know, they work with the police, clearly, because when fucking they killed Dart, there was North Force and the cops, like, side by side, so.
Right.
I gotta say, I do love the thought balloons that Canadian has as he runs away from the chopper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally agree.
Do you guys not appreciate it? I don't hear applause.
No, thought balloons, yeah. Thought balloons are absolutely a tool that have a purpose, and there's no reason to fucking not use them. I'm glad you brought it up, like, as a pet peeve. Like, I can't stand when people say, there's no reason to ever use a thought balloon. And it's like, shut the fuck up. It absolutely has a reason.
Like, like, if someone used captions in this case, you would have to put them over where Malcolm is letting go of the helicopter to say, Malcolm Dragon releasing the helicopter shifted its weight, causing it to miss the hammer.
And even then, that wouldn't work because there's been no narrator up to this point.
Right.
So to just bring in a narrator for like one panel to explain what the fuck's happening makes no sense. No, I love thought balloons.
That's a weird panel, too.
Which one?
The one where he's got all the thought balloons.
Oh, he's just running away from the chopper.
No, the panel itself, it like kind of just bleeds off screen.
Oh.
Off page.
It's got that Vic Bridges border. Is that what you like?
Well, it's not.
It's just got borders on two sides. It's just strange. Like I don't
it's
typically
not.
see that.
It's not a drop shadow like Bridges. It's just.
I'm joking. Yeah.
I think it's just so that it frames him, so it shows that he's not in the fight where we go immediately.
Yeah.
It just puts him in a different place. I do like the use of the thicker borders. We also get one when Malcolm drops off the chopper and hits Thor in the face. Look at it's so many. They're all different panels. Every panel, you got the open panel, which is just the page. Yep.
The bordered panel, the regular panel, the scratchy panel. Weird. Yep. That's awesome.
Love it. I love it. Knowing that Malcolm is on the bottom of the chopper now, I want you to jump back to the page where Raptor is getting thrown. Thracoom at the top panel.
Yep.
And then look at the chopper in the background.
His little body underneath.
Do you see it? Do you see it?
Whoa, wait.
Just like a tiny little legs hanging off the bottom.
Yeah.
You mean the panel under hers?
Yeah. Where it's right next to Thor's word balloon.
The first one where you see the helicopter.
Right.
He says, "What is this? Methinks others seek to join the fray." Right next to that word balloon, look at the bottom of the chopper. Just
Get to the chopper.
The tiniest little Malcolm. I love it. It's good, dude. I love Malcolm's fucking dialogue. I think that he has his own voice. You know, he doesn't talk just like Dragon.
Not at all.
Time for the main event. It's on, Hammerman. This is happening. It's good, dude. I love it. And fucking Thor calling him the spawn of the ugly toad that blinded him. It's good. It's so good. Love it.
Of course, really, Dragon didn't blind Thor. Kerr did. Right?
Yeah.
Well, sure. I don't think Thor would know that, right?
No, probably not.
Right.
Or care is probably more important. Like Thor probably doesn't give a shit about that.
Jim, your night boy gets showcased.
I gotta say, he does. It's pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah.
He's attacking that power belt he wears. He's using strategy.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work out so great. Looks like his armor gets blasted off pretty good.
What do you mean?
He gets thwacked and you see pieces of his armor flying off.
No, that's Thor's belt.
Oh, you're right. I guess he does succeed. Okay, because it's weird because I could have swore he's still wearing his belt. Maybe not.
Because Thor's got that little T on his belt.
Yeah, and this is half a T. I guess he does break the belt off. Nice.
Yep, the strength doubling belt. So it's cool. He gets to, do something important. And in fact, look how awesome that Fracathoom is.
It's pretty good.
On the panel. That's goddamn great.
Yeah, it is.
It's really like coming at you. I love it.
And then I saw this coming. I'm sure everyone, as soon as that hammer went flying.
Somebody has to die, Craig.
I started laughing because I was like, oh my God, here it fucking comes, dude.
Scream.
So good, dude. Look at the panel with the ear and the hair.
Oh.
He's like, Mickey, when the hammer comes back to him. And it's
just an ear came flying off. It was stuck to the hammer as it's returning to him.
Right. Oh, Malcolm gave him the old duck. And I'm like, what's great is Malcolm foreshadows it with, oh, yeah?
Oh, Malcolm. You and your accidentally killing everyone around you.
I have him, Father. Strike him down. I'll hold him for you. Oh, yeah? So good.
We do see... I
don't know. Maybe he didn't realize, though, Mickey doesn't have super strength or something,
Malcolm makes that mistake a lot.
Malcolm wouldn't have realized... Hold on, let's back this
up. That's how he killed Scourge, because who would even think getting a finger poke of doom like that would kill you? Well, the shit that you pulled. Back it up, Raven. What are you backing up?
No, I just wanted to see if Malcolm would have seen Raptor and Mickey fighting
Probably
technically, he is on the helicopter, like on that same panel,
right?
But where she's getting thrown by Thor,
Yeah.
But who knows if he actually saw Miki in Raptor fight? So who knows if he knew like Miki's strength level? He probably did.
This kid's in the middle of a. Sorry, go ahead.
We do see a Jet there getting up off the ground in that.
Yeah.
So we know he's not toast.
Oh, you're right. His head's not souped. Haha, take that, Mark Welser. We noticed. We noticed the thing, sucker.
I would say Mickey is in the middle of a huge, like, superpowered fight, and he's not dead or hurt.
Oh,
so.
Well, he's a quarter god, so he's fine.
Right.
He's actually he's half god because Thor's pure god.
Half, yeah.
Yeah, so he's got to be tougher than human, but he's not tougher than Thor's hammer to the face. Clearly,
I think Malcolm can be forgiven for thinking that Miki would, like, not fucking live, because again, what Craig's saying is Miki's there among all these people fighting.
Right.
The cool thing I do love, we kind of glossed over it just a little bit, is like the minute that like fucking Flagman runs off the chopper, you basically see North Force, who seem kind of beaten, jump up and start actually being effective.
Yep.
Right.
It's almost like some actual leadership showed up.
Well, it's just cool to see them rally. Like, even though they were overwhelmed, like, they rallied. And the minute Malcolm gives, like, the info about the belt, like, the next thing he does is chop the goddamn belt off. So, pretty sweet. I think it's kind of cool to show North Force not being worthless. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it wasn't like, oh, look how cool Malcolm is. He came in and saved
Canadian's
the day.
a little worthless with his little freaking kick to the head there.
That's a cool pose.
Yeah.
And he dodged. He dodged.
He
the
did
thing, so
dodge.
He's fast.
He is fast.
Yeah.
And he blends in well with the snow.
I did. Oh, you know what? I didn't notice this. I don't know if this is an error or what, but the knight here, his shield's on his left when he gets, hit, knocked aside. Mm-hmm. But when he stabs Thor in the belt, his shield's on the right.
Oh, he can switch.
Yeah, he just switched.
I mean, he lost his sword when he got boomed.
Yeah, so typically you would use your lead hand for your sword, but if you're going to go chop someone's belt if you're going to use your shield as a weapon, you switch it to your right hand.
You would put it in your dominant hand. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think it works.
Well, I guess we won't fire Eric for that one.
Not this time.
Yeah, but be on your best.
So, what do you think with this last panel when you see like Thor like all supercharged up? Are we going to have a lightning versus lightning
I
battle?
kind of glossed over these last three panels because I thought Thor was just leaving. I didn't actually realize he was grabbing Malcolm by the face and just dumping the lightning into him. So I have no idea what this means.
I can't wait.
Do you guys think with this, last caption, we know what the cover of the next issue is, A Walk on the Wild Side with, what's the tiger's name again? Walter. It seems like it's going to be more of a kid-centric Walter and Amy issue. Do you think this pauses and we get back to the action after that issue, or do you think it's going to be a combined?
Maybe. Possibly.
I don't know. I think you can't walk away from this finale without giving a payoff.
I disagree. I think you can wait a month.
No.
I mean, the issue after this is the North Force cover issue, right?
Right. Or is it?
No.
I just said that without thinking.
After what? Which one?
After Walking the Wild Side. It's the Team Malcolm on North Force cover, right?
I believe so.
We're
about to find out.
Totally see the cliffhanger of this not getting resolved until the start of that. I could see that happening. Do a little Baby's Day Out and then cut back to the action.
No way. I think he's going to give us a resolution, because the thing is that we don't know what's going to happen. It's a great cliffhanger. Malcolm having lightning powers. We even question. We're like, well, what happens? Like when Malcolm gets blasted by lightning, like is he affected because it's God lightning? Is he going to become supercharged? Like what happens? Like, so it's awesome because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen next. Is Malcolm going to just be limbs in a hospital again for a month? Or is he going to fucking, like, Hulk out and just blast the shit out of Thor? Who knows, dude?
Yes, Malcolm is going to Hulk out.
You never know, dude. Supercharged Malcolm. Super Saiyan Malcolm. It was awesome. It was fucking great. I love Thor showing up. I think he's a badass. I love to see North Force shine. Like, I just thought this was just everything that I could have personally wanted.
Yep.
Pour one out for Grunhilde, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet character design. Just tossed away. Oh, but killer stuff.
256 felt like it was a little bit of a dip for me. I didn't enjoy it as much as the previous issues, which seemed to like be setting the world on fire for me. Mm-hmm. But then I feel like this issue just came right back. Like, this is everything I want in a Savage Dragon comic. Like, just cool teams. Thor is a massive villain. I don't know, just a lot of cool action. It was a good one. Surprises, great splashes.
Agreed. Yeah, this is Savage Dragon firing on all cylinders to me. Jim?
And then I was going to say just one other, beyond that, and we'll get to it soon, is even the extras in this. There's still more. Etherian's been great.
Yeah, totally agree, dude. This Etherian backup has been fantastic. Fantastic. I love this little interview here.
Yeah, the interview's cool. Gives us a little Etherian checklist.
Yeah,
I love that. I love it, dude.
That's key because, you want to go back and try to read it in order now that everything's up. Everything's been printed in color now. Except for Megaton, I guess you'd have to... Everything else you can get within the pages of Savage Dragon, but if you want to read the original Megaton stuff,
right,
which is its own story, you have to go through, get up the Megaton issues.
Maybe they'll get reprinted in a few issues.
I do like, though, I love this reading list because... like if you look at it, like you said, Craig, only 4 issues really are not readily available for Savage Dragon fans that have all the issues on hand.
Right.
So technically you could absolutely just scoop up all your old Savage Dragon issues and just blast through them and do a little Etherian reading. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's key for new readers too because it gives you the reading order because they are a little bit out of order. With the first kind of thing that you should be reading is from issue 250 to 257, and then it kind of gets back into a regular order.
It's cool. I like the idea. I love to learn about these characters. It's been one of the fun things about Savage Dragon is even doing the retros with you guys on Wildstar. It's just the extra history, picking up all these satellite characters, then learning where they're from and what they're all about and stuff. And it's cool to know that Frank is Etherian is Frank's Savage Dragon, a character that has been with Frank his whole life. It's cool to know, and I love that. I love to see whenever somebody has a character that it's their passion. And they're doing this character their whole life just because they have these stories in their head they just got to tell. To me, that's always, I'm going to be super excited for that. So very cool.
Did you guys catch that key question though? Will original Etherian story from Megaton see the light of day again? And they're working on it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Plans to take all 4 stories from Megaton, conclude the series in a collected volume. He's drawn the last 40 pages to finish the arc from the 80s. And he's hoping it'll be in color. And then it said it'd be nice to see it in the Watchers of Pyrite Gorge collected too, which was collected in Savage Dragon 245 through 145 through 159. And that would kind of conclude all the standalone Etherian stuff, and then of course he's part of the whole Vanguard.
The Watch of the Pyrite Gorge was the Etherian backup.
Yeah.
I I didn't realize it had a name.
It's been a long time ago. Some of these stuff is like, like 145. Like, think how long ago that has actually been in like real life.
It is. I'm actually shocked. It was only a year separated from when Vanguard Outpost Earth started. I actually thought that Etherian backup ran a long time before then. I thought that was actually closer to the early hundreds, not the mid. So I should revisit those.
So that's cool.
That was a pretty good story.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah.
It was also kind of a weird time because when it first debuted, I won't lie, I had no fucking idea what was going on, what this was.
Me either. Yeah, me either. I was like, ooh.
But by the end of it, I went back and reread the whole thing, and it was actually really good.
Oh, yeah. Same, dude. I was like, who's this barbarian guy? What?
It was almost like when I first started reading and all those Megaton Man comics were in the back, and I couldn't make heads or tails of that shit either. Now I get it, but then it was just like, what is this? Why is this? Does this have anything to do with Savage Dragon?
Yeah, right. This makes me want to go back now and reread those, at least the Watches of Pirate Gorge.
Totally.
Because it ties in so well. Like, this Ethereal Warriors is setting up that next chapter.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to go back and like just reread like Watchers of Pyrite Gorge, and then even those Vanguard, like they're still pretty fresh in my mind, like Outpost Earth and Homecoming. But like just do a straight read through. Like I would love to do it because it's funny. Like as backups, your mind kind of disjointedly keeps it up, but like these are whole stories, dude. Like I'm glad you told me, Craig, to get the one shot, the black and white one shot.
Yeah,
because it kind of like I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I was like, this reads completely different all at once.
Yeah, you're right.
So thanks for that recommendation. Like, definitely.
Oh, you are most certainly welcome.
I try. Shall we do the backup itself?
Yeah, let's go through it real quick because it was quite enjoyable, and it's the last part. It ends the series. There's some fun things to talk about, but man, I love that first panel of the series with Vanguard's arm and stuff. He just looks cool.
It's just massive.
Yeah.
Just fucking huge.
Basically, Zakor has been defeated. His eyes are popping out of his head.
He's shamed. Look how angry.
And they're going to send him back to prison in his home world. And
even Ithrian has become a softie to his little sidekick with the staff.
For now. Yeah, he seems like Ithrian's getting a little more chill, but that only lasts so long.
Right.
I love how it comes back to the satellite. That modem is kind of trapped in, so like something's going to happen. So they beam everyone back, and then it blows up, and everyone gets across except for Ithrian. He's stuck on our Earth, whereas everybody gets back to whatever their home world is called. I forget. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know if it must have been given a name.
The key thing.
Well, they went back to the powerhouse. That's what matters.
Yeah, the key thing.
Well, there's two powerhouses, one on Earth and one on their original planet.
Right, the key thing is that our man Zakora there is like fucking, he's the ethereal warrior there now. So
yeah, so they were going to take his lens and imprison him, but now they're going to be dependent on him to save the planet if needed.
Right. And everybody's just sort of like,
God damn it.
This asshole.
Ha 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 ha.
Meanwhile, back on the powerhouse in Arizona.
In Pirate Gorge.
Right. As soon as I read that, I was like, oh, yeah, okay, jeez.
It's funny how like Ithrian goes from being kind of becoming a cool guy to like just basically being like
a jackass.
You fucking morons. I'm stuck here.
He's an asshole right away.
Well, he's an asshole here, and then he's an asshole to this other guy calls him a freaking lowly dog.
Right.
Yeah, this poor bastard.
We're talking about, like, people being assholes, and, like, man, Van and Wally are kind of dickheads, too. They're just like, oh, shit, we got to get out of here later.
Oh, I left my girlfriend stranded in France.
Bye. Oh, it's so good, dude. Yeah, so, I mean, fucking E3 is fucked. He can't get back to his home planet, and Wally's like, I don't know, I got Starship maps, maybe that'll help you. And he's like, nah, not without Powerhouse to guide me, it won't. And then you got this poor fucker that's been mutated. Like, how brutal. E3's like, yeah, you'll forget your old life soon.
Like, he's just a cold dude. Like, he's not really a hero at all.
No.
He's more, reminds me of, like, just like a Greek god type thing that just, and I guess that's probably what Frank's going for, you know?
Yeah.
He just, you know, he just doesn't really have time for the common person. He's just there to do his purpose.
Yeah, he's not really got that human touch. He's definitely got that, like, I'm, you know, from a superior stock.
Which I think is why it kind of plays well, like the way his characters are. I forget the guy's name with the staff.
Oh, Kel.
Yeah, like it kind of gives the more human element.
Krell.
Right. It just kind of gives E3 the more human element, like the more friendlier take on it. Like, they're always paired together, so. Anyway.
Totally agree, though. No, I agree. It's a good pairing, a good dynamic. Van coming to Paris to try and smooth things over, not working for him.
It's funny how Van still has his, like, ethereal armor on.
Ethereal underwear, anyway.
Yeah.
Modem, bro. When she's going to the phone, how funny is, like, the little modem going into the phone?
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
This page looks great colored.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Totally agree.
I love Frank Fosco draws a great Vanguard. Like, he draws the proportions just right. Like, he's just he's a great Vanguard artist.
Totally agree, dude. Totally agree. Fantastic.
But yeah, enjoyable story. You know, we'll see Modem come back again on the Vanguard backups. But it was fun. I really, really enjoy when Fosco does backups in Savage Dragon.
Agreed, man. Agreed. And
Gary. I don't want to leave Gary Carlson out because his his writing is fun.
Oh no, everybody delivered. Like, you know, like the colors, the lettering, like the writing, like 10 out of 10. So it's funny, whenever this first started, I was kind of like, oh no, we're missing, like, you know, funnies and Moonbeard and stuff. But it doesn't take long before you just, like, get sucked in. And you're like, yeah, this kicks ass.
Totally.
Yeah, this kicks ass too. So, pretty awesome overall. Fucking, like you said, like, feels like a fantastic issue.
Yep, it's
no complaints here.
Great action issue. I definitely can't wait to see what's going on with North Force and Malcolm's relationship with them. I think that could be well, it could be the start of his SOS era, or maybe it's a trick.
I personally would love to see North Force get, like, you know, proper treatment, you know, be part of the cast. But hey, if it's a trick, you know, I'm sure Eric has a good trick up his sleeve. Whatever.
Right.
So what do we got next, Raven?
Savage Dragon 258. A Walk on the Wild Side. Amy Dragon skips school to run off on a wild adventure with Walter, the talking tiger. And if you recall, it's a fantastic cover. Google it if you haven't seen it. Savage Dragon 258.
Still currently my favorite cover.
It's a fucking good one, dude.
It is glorious.
Yeah, just chilling on the corner. So yeah,
I've really
fantastic.
enjoyed all the covers. So, like I said, this past year, just amazing.
Every cover has been a banger. Yes.
Sooner or later, you got to drop that ball. No, I'm kidding. It's hard. It's hard, dude. It's hard to constantly be number one. But it's
So
king
you
of
guys
the
think
heap
it's a
every
wrap,
week,
or
dude.
what's that?
I said Savage Dragon remains the king of the heap every week. I mean, every time
That's
I fucking, hey, just saying, like, buy a shit ton of comics, usually $50 every time I check out. Savage Dragon, bar none, always the best shit I read every fucking time. So it's a pleasure. Thanks for chatting Savage Dragon with me, fellas.
Yep.
Thank you. It's been fun.
And as always, you can always contact us at savagefincast@gmail.com. Leave a message on our website, savagefincast.com. You can leave a comment on our YouTube channel, YouTube/SavageFincast, and leave us
Subscribe.
Sorry, what? Oh, yeah, subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah, that helps us out. So thanks. Thanks again.
Thanks,
you.
everybody. Take care.